Hello guys, it's Nym and today we are going to do the second part of the collab that I'm taking part in. So in the first part I actually built a shell and I shall link that video down below in the description. So if you haven't already you can watch me build a shell, and if you feel like it you can of course furnish the shell yourself. But in this video I am actually furnishing the shell that Josie built. Now the shell challenge was like typical houses from your country, and this is a South African home. I have never been to South Africa, so I have absolutely no clue how any of it looks like. I have no clue what the furniture look like or what the flooring or the walls look like, so I just did what I thought was looking good. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna make too much of a fuss about it, I'm just going to do what I think is pretty. So the first thing we want to do, because I didn't know how I wanted to do the kitchen or the living room or any of that thing, what I usually do first, I just decided to do the bathrooms, because those are pretty generic and I'm guessing bathrooms are the same in like every country. I'm hoping, I'm thinking, like I'm not sure, but I'm guessing like bathrooms are pretty much a national thing and the way they look. So we are now just doing this master bedroom that it is, because this is the bedroom that has the ensuite in it as well and a big walk-in closet. I wanted to make the bedrooms kind of small because I didn't want to have like these giant bedrooms with a lot of furniture in it. I just wanted to keep it basic. So naturally we have a bed in the bedroom, otherwise you can't sleep there. Like a desk, some bookcases, obviously a closet, and this one has an ensuite. The other bedrooms do not have an ensuite. And of course some pretty pictures on the wall. Now furnishing a different shell that I did not build, it was very difficult because there were like all these rooms and I was like, ooh, what is every room supposed to be? Because I didn't know. So I just gave my own interpretation and I built some rooms. I wasn't quite sure if that was allowed, but I felt like just making some extra rooms, because otherwise it was these big giant empty spaces and I didn't know how to properly fill it up. So we are now moving over to the second bedroom, and we are actually using light colors, which usually I don't do. Usually I use pretty dark colors in my bedroom because I like dark colors. But I was like, you know, this is a South African home. In my mind, South African homes are like pretty bright and have light colors and I don't know, like a little bit of African mood. So a lot of yellow, red, orange. I have no clue if that's really true because I've never been there, but in my mind it is. So hence the yellow theme in this bedroom. And I thought it was really cute, like with the plants in the closet and then the TV there, so you could just sit in or lay in bed and watch TV. Obviously your Sims don't do that. Your Sims sit on the bed and then they turn sideways and watch the television, which is rather weird. Like, we're gonna talk about it a little bit, because in The Sims 2, your Sims would just lay on the bed and watch TV like normal people would do as well. I don't know what it is in The Sims 3, because I actually never played The Sims 3. I know, big shock. That's because my computer at the time was really, really, really bad and it just couldn't handle The Sims 3. And I actually have no need to play The Sims 3 because I have The Sims 4. Unfortunately, I no longer have The Sims 2 because that crashed and it doesn't work anymore. So if any of you guys know where I can get The Sims 2, that would be useful, because that is like my lifelong game. I've played that game like ever since I was, how old was I? I think I was 10 or 12? 10 or 12? I think, let's just say 11. I was 11. I've played it since I was 11. Ooh, that's 12 years ago. Whoa. Anyways, I used to have like this giant family called the Sparrows, and I made them in cats, and it took me like 45 minutes on the mom and then 45 minutes on the dad. And then they had these beautiful kids. They're actually gorgeous. So I kept like younging the mother, because you have like that you could grow plants, and then when you ate it, oh no, it was potions. You had like this potion maker, and then you drank it, you would become younger. So I used to do that. So those parents, they had like 56 kits. It was like some weird baby challenge, honestly. And all those kits were so pretty, but then my computer crashed and then the game crashed and I couldn't get it back. Rip Sparrow family. Maybe I'll try to recreate them in The Sims 4. Why didn't I ever think of that? Okay, mental note. Remake Sparrow family in Sims 4 and upload it. Okay, hopefully I'll remember. If I don't remember, remind me of it, okay guys? I'll try to remember. Anyway, going back to the builds. So, on the right side of the home, there was like this little open spaces and rooms. So we made a room of that and we are making it into a toddler's room, which maybe isn't that practical because the parents' room is like all the way on the other side. But you know what? Doesn't matter. So anyway, if your kids like taking afternoon naps, you're close to your kid. Let's just leave it at that, because when you're asleep and your kid's crying, you need to go all the way to the other side of the house, which is kind of unpractical, but that's okay. So now we are actually making a laundry room with obviously the pack from laundry stuff, because laundry stuff is one of my favorite packs to use. Like in building, in playing, no, I don't like playing with laundry because you need to do the laundry and somehow my Sims never do it correctly. But for building it, I love just building all these rooms with like laundry stuff and all the bassinets. I like it. Or bassinets with laundry baskets? I don't know what to call it. Anyway. So, this room here, we're actually going to make the kitchen out of this because I thought, you know what, it's a bit of a closed space. We could make a kitchen out of it. So again, I was trying to go what in my mind is like African. So we are using the island living, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna call it island living. Island living counters with the university bar stools. Obviously, there will be a lot of clutter. So beware for that. And a double sink, because I wanted the sink to be centered. And I was like, you know what? This is a fancy home because it has like this giant fence around it. Probably means it's fancy. Double sink it is. And then it's, okay, we're just gonna do cluttering now. So, you guys know that I love cluttering. You all know that. I went a bit overboard on this build, as you could probably see by the amount of items that I'm placing. And bear in mind, I'm not actually gonna leave it like that, we're just placing it and now we're actually gonna put it correctly. There is so much clutter in this kitchen. So much. It's actually not normal. And the worst thing is that the clutter is all on one side of the kitchen. So this side has all the clutter. And the other side, I don't think it has any clutter at all. So it's a bit unrealistic because in real life, I'm guessing you would clutter up your entire like kitchen islands and counters and not just one bit. But that could just be me. So I think that in reality, your Sims, if you download this build, have 2 counters to actually work on. And it is a giant kitchen. So we are also making this little breakfast nook area with bar stools and this giant table, which I think the university tables that are higher, so you can actually use stools to sit on it. I like it because I love stools. I hate sitting on normal chairs because this is gonna make me sound so extra, but I don't like fitting into the normal image, and I love sitting on stools because they're high up and I am really short, at least for a Dutch person. Probably for other countries I'm not that short, but for a Dutch person I am really short. So I like sitting high so I could feel like on the same level as my friends, because my friends are like 30 centimeters higher than I am. Or at least that's what it feels like sometimes. Especially if they wear high heels. I'm like, dude, why didn't you tell me we were gonna wear high heels? Because now I'm like extremely tiny compared to you. So that's why in my build, since we have the ability to use stools, I will use it. Also in real life, I will use the stools. I also tried to clutter up the living room, but it was such a large space, and obviously I couldn't make it any smaller because we weren't allowed to touch the exterior of the shell. So we're just filling it up with couches and tables and everything. So this is like the official dinner table. If you have a party, you will sit here with your friends and family and you will just eat at that specific table. And that's it. I also wanted to have like clutter here and there because I felt like, you know what, it is obviously a family home, so it needs to be lived in. So you can't have like an extremely tidy home because that is like completely not realistic. In here we are actually gonna make a tiny little lobby with a grand piano and again some seating arrangements, some lovely paintings. Also, can I just say that the exposed brick, I like it so much. It gives just that little bit of extra vibe that it needed, at least in my opinion. Also, the use of every single pack that I had, it helped me so much because at a certain point I was just lost for ideas. I didn't know what to place, I just didn't know anymore, so I just went out of the game, which is something that I normally don't do because normally I furnish a build like completely in one go. I didn't do that with this because I just couldn't think of any more to place. So right now we are making a little office area and I just didn't know what to place there. I was like, you know what, we're gonna go for books, we're gonna go for fish bowls, some lights, more bookcases because these people like to read a lot, and then like in the center of the screen we are going to add like another sitting area space. I don't know what you'd use it for. Maybe if you're hanging out with your friends and you don't want to watch TV, you could just sit there if you want to read a book, because it looks actually really nice, like with the painting and the rug and then the plants there and the lights. It actually looks like a really comfortable sitting space, like I would sit there and read my book. Obviously we needed to do the outside area as well, so we are just going to add some lounge chairs to our pretty pool. I would love to have a pool in the backyard, but my backyard is not large enough to have a pool. Like even if you would have like this little kids pool in there, it is completely cramped up and you can't actually walk there. So a pool is unfortunately not for me right now, but who knows, maybe later. Also this little trick with the plants in the plant pots, I like it so much. It makes it look so much more alive. Obviously we needed some bees, because I think that bees are actually quite common in South Africa. Because at least in our news you hear all these like reports on bees and killer bees in Africa, so I thought like, you know what, probably in South Africa as well. So we're adding some bees, but of course these bees are nice. They're the nice kind of bees. And at this point I was kind of lost for words, and I remembered, wait, we have cars in The Sims. I could just size up a toy car, and then we have 2 cars on the driveway. And I couldn't get the car to rotate, which was quite annoying. We're adding a little formal seating area again in the front with some more plants. And I think in a minute... Ooh, whoa, did you hear that? In a minute, we are actually going to do the other outside area, and we're just gonna check over some few things. Oh yes, the lobby. I completely forgot that, but we obviously need to do the lobby because we're actually gonna build some more walls in there to make it look like smaller spaces, because it was really giant. So we are going to break it up, and we are gonna put some archways in there to like make it look open, but also it's closed. So it's a large area, but it's also not a large area. And then in here we are going to add another little table, and in my mind this was like a homework table for the kids. So if your children come out of school and they have homework or they have projects that they have to make, they make it at that table. So it's a designated area just for homework. And I thought that was actually pretty smart of me, because like psychological studies also have shown that if kids do their homework like at an assigned place, it works better for in their mind. It's the same reason why you shouldn't do anything else but sleep in your bed. Because if you play games in your bed, your mind automatically starts to think, ooh, I'm in bed, so I must play games. Apparently that's how minds work. I'm not a psychologist, I just read the study. So maybe the study's wrong, who knows? Disclaimer, I don't actually know anything about this. I just repeat what I just read. That's it. So we are just gonna do the outside area now. We're gonna add some little more tiny little decoration stuff. And I think that's about it. We are gonna go into the screenshots in a minute. And I have to say, I really enjoyed furnishing this build. It was hard at times, but it was also very fun. So we're in the screenshots now. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Also check out my video on building the shelf for Josie. I will also link his channel down below, so you could go check that out as well. Bye guys!